Hello everyone. Today we shall be discussing a very important topic for UPSC prelims. So the topic is Bureau of Indian Standards has released Indian standards to safeguard the indigenous crop varieties which align with Sustainable Development Goal 2. So see, a first important thing I want to discuss is, see, if this topic was asked last year, that means till 2025, maybe we won't have discussed this topic, especially for the prelims. But this year in 2026 prelims, UPSC has asked a question from the similar topic. That's why I shall be discussing this topic in lines with the question which was asked in 2026. So for that, first of all, let's focus on the question, that what type of question was asked. Then we shall be discussing the article in line with that question. So see, this is the question of prelims 2026. The question says, Bureau of Indian Standards, that is BIS, has recently introduced a national standard to test and assess bomb disposal system. Now, which of the following statements with regard to this system is or are correct? First statement says the new standard is known as IS 19445-2025. So here you have to remember the name of the standard also. So here the name of the standard, first thing you must know. Second thing it is saying, it will improve interoperability of equipment across agencies. That means second statement is asking about the significance of allotting the Indian standards to anything. Third thing is, it was developed by the TBRL DRDO in collaboration with 30th Central Scientific Research Institute, Russia. So basically, it is focusing on the agencies which are involved or which were involved in the development of the standards. So now, based on the statements which are asked in the UPSC, we shall be discussing our today's article. So see, first thing is, so what is the news? That recently BIS has introduced the Indian standards to save the indigenous or traditional crop varieties. So for that, what BIS has done basically has introduced Indian standards for the community seed bank management requirements. Because if you want to save the local seed varieties or traditional seed varieties, community seed bank is an important option. So that's why this IS 20201-2026, this you have to remember. So if in next year prelims UPSC asked that this IS 20201-2026 is related to what? So this is the Indian standard which is related to the community seed bank management requirements in India. Now, why it is more important? Because this is the first national standard which is released for any community seed bank. That's why it becomes more important. Now, first of all, let's discuss about the problem, that why we are needing all these kind of standards for community seed bank management. So what is the recent problem? So see, earlier, what used to happen, for example, this is farmer A and this is farmer B. So if both of these farmers require different kind of seed varieties to grow in their agricultural field, so what farmer A will do, farmer A will keep aside a certain percentage of seeds which he is having, and that percentage of seeds this farmer A will exchange with farmer B, and same thing farmer B will be doing. So in that way, both these farmers will be having different variety of seeds. But now in the modern times, what is happening? The farmers are focusing more and more on the commercial seed varieties. So these commercial seed varieties, maybe they are very good for the productivity or for the yield. But because of that, the local or traditional seed varieties are gradually disappearing in India. So see, why these local seed varieties are very important in India? Because see, if we talk about the traditional characteristics of these traditional seeds or the local seeds, so what are some of the characteristics? Is first characteristic is that these seeds are the drought resistant, or these seeds are the flood resistant in India, or these seeds are the pest resistant in India. So see, if any particular seed have these kind of characteristics, then this will make any region in India sustainable. How? See, if any region in India is drought resistant, and if we are talking about the drought resistant, if any region in India is drought prone, and if we take any drought resistant variety of crop, for example, if we talk about millets, so if millets can grow easily in the drought prone area, then these millets can sustain the population there. it can sustain the population economically, it can sustain the population socially, environmentally, it can sustain the population through anything. So the same thing will happen in the flood prone areas. If we talk about the pest resistant varieties, then if any particular variety is pest resistant, it will reduce the effort of farmers, because to deal with all these pests and all, the farmers have to hire the laborers. And to deal with all these weed conditions, farmers have to hire the laborers to take out all these weeds. Farmers have to take the extra loan to buy the pest resistant varieties. That's why traditional or local seed varieties are very important, because they have the inherent characteristics. They have inherent all these characteristics or some of these characteristics. Now, to deal with all these things, to preserve the local seed varieties, community seed bank is seen as a very good solution. So see in this picture, this is the picture of community seed bank. This is how community seed bank looks. So seeds of different varieties will be available in the community seed banks. So basically, community seed bank you can understand as a kind of village seed library. So see, if you talk about a library, so in library, for example, if you want a particular book, you don't want to purchase that book, you just want to read that book, so you take this book or you issue your book from the library, you read that book, and after 1 month or 2 months you return that book back. So what is the benefit here? You are not purchasing the book, but then also you are gaining all the knowledge, and since that book is in library, so that book will serve the purpose of the other students also. The same thing is happening in the community seed bank. So what will happen? For example, if farmer A wants to cultivate this variety, which is present in the community seed bank. So what A will do? A will take this variety from the seed bank. A will grow this variety of seeds in his agricultural field, and after the harvest, A will return same quantity of seed varieties to the bank. So here what is happening? A is not purchasing any seed, A is taking these variety, A is cultivating, A is harvesting, and finally it is giving the varieties back. So in this way, if any other farmer also wants that variety, other farmer can also take from the seed bank. So this is the benefit of community seed bank. Now, why Indian standards by BIS is given to the community seed bank? So the reason for this is, see, if the farmers in India want to actually use the seeds which are available in the bank, then those seeds must maintain some kind of standards. Because see, BIS is saying that don't maintain any community seed bank just for the namesake, that you are saying, okay, my village have community seed bank. If you are maintaining a community seed bank, they must serve the actual purpose. How they will serve an actual purpose? So here BIS have provided a rule book, kind of rule book, and that rule book is called as Indian standards. So what does this rule book will say? So this rule book will provide certain kind of standards for the seeds, like how seeds should be stored in the bank, or how seeds should be dried, or how seeds should be cleaned, or how seeds should be preserved, or how the quality of seeds must be tested. So see, if the seeds in the community seed bank are healthy, then only farmers can actually use them. Otherwise, what is the use of that? That you are having the banks also, then also the farmers are taking the commercial seed varieties from the seed companies. So that's why this was the requirement. This was the requirement of Indian standards to maintain the quality of seeds so that farmers can actually use them. And yes, since in 2026 question we discussed that institutions are also being asked. So please remember the important institution which is involved here is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. This is the important one. And contributions are from National Biodiversity Authority, Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, Raithu Sadhikara Samstha, and BAIF Development Research Foundation. So these are the important institutions which were involved along with National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. Now, if we talk about the importance of why this is important, see, first of all, we will talk about the importance for farmers. So basically, see, as you know that farmers had to depend on the seed companies for the commercial seed varieties, and these seeds come very costly if you want very good yield, very good productivity. So all these banks, all these Indian standards will reduce the dependency of farmers on the seed companies, and with low cost also, farmers will be having the access of good quality seeds, and basically the risk of farming will reduce. If we talk about the agriculture, so see, traditional or local seed varieties have very good characteristic that they can maintain the quality of soil. They are not continuously draining the soil for the nutrients. So that's why it can maintain the quality of soils. And since the local crop varieties are protected, so overall environment will also be protected. And since these are drought resistant, these are flood resistant, so that will be in line with our the climate resilient strategies also. And if we talk advantage for overall India, so what will be the advantage? It will ensure the food security for India. India don't have to depend on other countries for this research and innovation if we are protecting our own seeds. And basically, it will lead to conservation of biodiversity also, because the local or traditional varieties of seeds can never pose a threat to biodiversity. So these were some of the advantages. Now, since we were discussing about the BIS or Bureau of Indian Standards, so this is the logo, which says Manakaha Path Pradarshakaha. Now, about Bureau of Indian Standards, the first important thing is that this is National Standard Body of India, and it was established under Bureau of Indian Standards Act 2016. So earlier its name was different, because in 1947 one body was created, that was Indian Standards Institution or ISI. So earlier its name was Indian Standards Institution in 1947. Now its name is Bureau of Indian Standards. So basically, what is the objective? Objective you can easily predict. Mainly its objective is to ensure the standardization, to provide the quality certification of various goods and services in India. Now, why it is important? See, if any good or services is standardized in India, is certified in India, then it will improve the consumers or customers experience. Second thing, it will ensure the consumer safety. And third thing is, it will increase the competitiveness of Indian products in the world market. So that's why all the standardization as well as certifications are very important. Now for exam, nodal ministry is very important. So here nodal ministry will be Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So you can remember in this way, since it is ensuring the benefit of consumers or customers in India, hence the ministry will be Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Yes, we have a practice question. So please give answer of this question in the comment section. Yes, this is the question. The question is, Bureau of Indian Standards recently released IAS 20201-2026. Which of the following statements are correct? First is, it provides requirements for community seed bank management. Second, it aims to conserve indigenous crop varieties and promote climate resilient agriculture. Third is, it has been developed under the convenorship of ICAR, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. So this question is similar to the question which was asked in UPSC Prelims 2026. So please try to give answer of this question in the comment section. So yes, that's all from my side. Thank you. Have a nice day.